supporting MooreCounty Executive Steve Schuh demanded his money back from Roy Moore's campaign because of sexual abuse allegations made against the candidate. Okay, so it took Schuh a while to catch up with events, never mind that his withdrawal of support coincided with its outing by a progressive blog. But wasn't it enough for Schuh that Moore had been twice removed from the bench for defying court orders and had expressed disdain for LGBT persons and Muslims, declaring they do not have the same rights as others? Romanticized the era of slavery as having been great for nuclear families. Insisted President Barack Obama was not born in this country. Suggested the 9/11 attacks were punishment from God. No, none of that was enough to deter Schuh from writing a check for $1,000 to the Moore campaign. Schuh says it's the allegations of sexual abuse that led him to make his righteous demand for a refund. If money we didn't even know he had given until the day before he asked for it back. We here in Maryland should consider ourselves better than this. Steve Schuh's support for Roy Moore, even without the sex abuse, is indefensible and unbecoming of anyone in our state or local government. Amy Boo, Annapolis Tolerational and McAllister's letter on saving the American soul, the Capitol deck. 15 states, the Republican Party needs to be eradicated from all the states that understand this horrific future. How would Mr. McAllister eradicate the Republican Party in a fair election? If the people persist in electing Republicans, would the GOP be banned as a party? Would Americans be imprisoned or denied access to the ballot box for voting for the GOP? Will we have re-education camps and instant enforcement squads? McAllister dislikes Republicans for his own reasons. However, calling for the eradication of a party with which he disagrees is dangerous and irresponsible political invective. Consider the possibility of his ideas being turned on the head and used against Democrats. How sound would Mr. McAllister consider his arguments then? Democracy is a nasty, messy business. We often ascribe the worst motives to those with whom we disagree. Rather, we should question our own motives first. The use of words like or eradicate against specific classes of people converts them into political vermin and isolates them. This, in turn, allows us to feel morally justified when we hurt them. We cannot live in or govern this country by eradicating people. Totalitarian single-party regimes on the right and left have tried and are trying to do this and have failed. Our eradication of one of the major American political identities would be fatal to this great republic. I suggest following the lead of Voltaire. While defending a political enemy's right to publish in spite of official disapproval, Voltaire was reported to have said, "I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." Eradication of parties as souls will not create a better American soul. Toleration of each other's views would. Lars Christiansen, Annapolis Rosemont column. I've been writing this letter in my head for about 5 years. Today I finally have to put pen to hand. Why do you continue to run John Rosamond's Living with Children column? We all know he survived a childhood with a neglectful mother and now believes that what he learned from this is the secret to successful child rearing. He tells us that weekly. Most of his advice is equally out of touch with mainstream psychology and parenting theory. Recently he outdid himself, concluding that no form of mental health counseling or therapy can be relied upon to produce positive results and that mental health counseling is a negative experience that makes matters worse. He lectures us that mental health is simply a matter of choice. If you continue to run this outdated column, you owe it to readers to publish a response from a qualified mental health professional along with it. Beth Zahesev.